Hello, and welcome to a very, very knee episode of Michael and Mom Talk Cancer. I am your official host, Michael with a new knee Kramer, and
I am the other official host, Ashley Kramer, who has her old knees. No fair. I thought he was going to say a needy episode when he said knee for so long, but we're not needy. We just got
I'm a little
some.
needy. That's why I have her, if
True
you like
that.
that. Well, we just wanted to come in and share some wisdom, some things we've learned lately.
Yes, because our last podcast that was just Michael and Mom, we were talking about the knee replacement, and it was, dare we say what we called that episode?
The the P episode.
The P episode.
Let's just call it the P episode.
P
And
period, not
yes,
P like PEE.
yes, and this episode we're gonna just highlight something we always talked about, and I
Yeah.
hate bringing it up because it's frustrated me so much because this recovery's been so bad. But healing is not linear, and it's hard healing. I'm in the midst of it right now with this knee replacement. I know that in a few months I'm gonna look back and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy I'm not there anymore." But this is like right when you're in the middle of things, and it's just so hard.
Yeah, and it is true that I feel like so often we do know the lessons, okay? They've been like put in front of our face and we know the lessons. But I think
Applying them is just it's different.
it's not even just applying them. I think it's like that for everyone. Like it's not, you know what it's like, Michael? Oh my
What
God.
is it
I
like?
heard someone say this and it's brilliant. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like you have to brush your teeth every single day,
But you're not
right?
like mindful of it.
No, this is
Oh,
this is what I mean. Like it's not like you brush your teeth once and then you never have to do it again. You've
okay.
learned and you're done. It's like every single day you have to brush your teeth again. And sometimes I feel like with our lessons and our perspective every single day, I do wake up right now. Well, we're not sleeping that great, I will say that. But I wake
True.
up and I'm like, I have to remind myself, okay, before you put your feet on the ground, Ashley, think about how you want to start this day. And I have to remind myself. And I think that that's okay because we're human. And so it's not just like we are suddenly enlightened and it's over. We've like reached this state of, we know healing's not linear. We're good.
Definitely not. It's very hard. It's very hard. I mean, we know all these things, and it's true, like, applying these things can be difficult. You have to just keep remembering, keep reminding yourself, because things do get better. And that's true, because 4 weeks ago, I was still in the hospital,
Yeah.
still
Oh my
taking
gosh, literally
oxy
four
and
weeks
pain
ago, you were
meds.
still in the hospital. You're
Yeah.
right.
And today I was able to walk up and down the stairs a few times
I
using both my
know.
legs. So for the first time, I was able to do that, which is a big improvement. But the thing is, this surgery is way more complex than that. Like, this pain is, it's not just like a pain, it's a whole feeling of discomfort and heaviness on my leg. And this is kind of like a therapy session. I'm just venting to you guys, I guess, but there's some
Michael
lesson,
and Mom talk therapy.
there's lessons in here too.
So
There's
don't tune out.
So don't tune out, because
Or you can.
I think this is just teaching me that life is going to keep hitting you. It's going to keep giving you struggles, keep giving you things to face, and there's never going to be a point in time where everything is just perfect. There's always going to be something. I think there's always going to be
Yes.
something, and it's kind of that crazy like, acceptance of there's always going to be something, but you still have to find a way to make yourself happy. And that's something I'm openly struggling with right now. Like yesterday I was telling my mom how sad I was because it's been so hard. But we were doing things to get like try to get out of the house. She's been taking me in the evenings in a wheelchair by the beach on the boardwalk. That's been really helpful. We've been doing things, just trying to do things that keep you in it, because we get to this point where it's like we feel like we're breaking, we can't go anymore. We're just like so close to getting over the hump, and that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm so close to getting over that hump where things are just gonna get better. And this message to anyone out there is just you just gotta keep going because it's gonna get better. It always does.
Yeah. I love what Michael was he was just like on the edge of saying, and it's one of those things that I learned. Some of you know that I've done Happy for No Reason, and I love that program, and I've done some workshops with it, and it's like I've said this before, but I think it bears repeating. It's the myth of I'll be happy when, and I think that we always think like, okay, I'm gonna be happy when this happens, but the thing is, Michael, I'm going to be happy when I get through with chemo. I'm going to be happy when I'm done with radiation. I'm going to be happy after I get through the bone marrow transplant. I'm going to be happy when I'm in remission. But life just keeps throwing us new fun adventures. And it was, there was TMA, there's graft versus host disease, there's HLH and AVN and all of these really cool acronyms that just mean that we've kind of had, I don't want to say setbacks, because in a way, every single thing that we've been through has just been like more learning. So I hate to say setback because that sounds negative. And it really has been. I mean, I know physically it's so hard for you. So, and I don't mean to sound inconsiderate as a caregiver, because it is true. His body has just been through hell. But I still feel like even looking at you every single time you go through something, it's so hard. And yet every time you keep going and you come out on the other side just like deeper, wiser, more brilliant with more lessons. And I think that's amazing. So that's why it's like you can't wait to be happy, because something else, you might get that thing you were waiting for, but something else is probably going to hit you.
Yeah,
and
I was on a call the other day with my doctor, who was on this call as well. It was a Zoom for a clinical trial. I can't really talk much about it, but he was saying that one of the things he tells his patients is he's not good with money, because he sees his patients that have graft versus host disease and cancer, and he sees what could happen in life. So he decides to spend his money having experiences, and instead of saving it all for a certain time in his life, he decides to live now, which
love that.
People are torn, and they do whatever they want with their, do different things with money, of course, but I like his perspective on just like, you have money and he spends it and enjoys his life. And I think it's a really beautiful thing.
I think it's just a great perspective that he's living his life. That like when he's a family guy, he has a wife and he has kids, and he is like, I'm going to also live today and not just wait for tomorrow until the kids are grown or until this happens. I love that about him. And I think that's one thing that makes him such a fantastic doctor, is that he looks at his patients and he actually learns. And he's looking at you as a whole human. He's not looking at you just as like a GVHD patient. I love that about him.
Yeah, he's a very, very good doctor. Very, very grateful to have him.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like my mom looks at me too. She looks at me as a whole person, not just a patient.
I thought you were going to say, I look at you as I'm grateful for you, which is true. I do look at you and I'm grateful for you every day. But I do look at you as a whole person, of course. But I think that, yeah, you are, but you're just like, you're like a whole person, but you're like also in the upside down world. You're like on both. You're so deep.
Very deep, yes.
He is so deep. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but no, it's just so interesting because you are such an interesting 22-year-old.
And you're such an interesting 55-year-old.
Thank you.
And it's very true. One thing, it's just, this is a tangent as well, is I look at my mom and I'm like, this is crazy, because I've never seen someone who's her age, in her health, and so resilient. Like, I've never met a more resilient person than my mom. I don't tell her enough. And I think, to anyone listening, like, we gotta appreciate this lady while she's here, because this lady is a living legend right here. She is. Oh my
God, now I'm gonna cry.
She is like, there's nobody out there like her. Like, I have met other. This is kind of weird, but I've met other moms, and there's other moms just aren't the same,
Aww.
I'm saying, okay, most moms are amazing, but this mom is she's something else.
I'm literally going to cry, but that's only because I'm the only mom he's ever really known. But it is true. I'm really lucky that I do tend to bounce back with joy. But sometimes that's probably annoying for you, right? Doesn't that bother you sometimes?
That you don't get sad? Well, maybe
I do. No, of course I get sad sometimes. Duh. The other day I was crying my eyes out because of dumb insurance, and I was like literally crying for like 20 minutes, and then I was like,
"Oh my gosh, should we tell a story about what happened yesterday?"
Maybe.
We should tell it.
But wait, I'm just going to tell you the insurance thing. But then I was like, one and done. I got my tears out. I really did cry my eyes out for like 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, let's go on with life. Because I was reminding myself to look at some of those Instagram videos by Michael and Mom telling me to live in the moment and not worry about the past or the future. Those people are wise, Michael and Mom.
They're very wise.
Anyway, tell me the story of yesterday.
Okay, so the story starts Monday
night. It was
night.
just a funny day.
It starts Monday night. Monday night, we actually went to the beach. We went to
literally 3 miles away, guys. We weren't like trucking it that far.
No, and we had the wheelchair. I was like getting up out of the wheelchair, walking for like a few minutes, getting in the wheelchair for like a few minutes, kind of doing that, trying to get back into shape and get my knee better. And we start driving home. It was a very nice time, by the way. It was gorgeous. It was
beautiful.
Cold. It was perfect weather.
He says cold. He is a Florida boy. It was like cold, probably 65.
65 is pretty cold for Miami.
It's cold for Miami.
In this time of year, 65, we'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it any day. And we get in the car. We start driving home. It's actually my first time driving.
First time we were trying because his left knee is the one, so he was like trying to drive with it. I was like, it's only 3 miles. Okay,
of course,
let's try.
my first time driving, the car engine just overheats.
Out of the blue. I was like, oh no. So I'm like, Michael, pull over. I open the hood. It doesn't seem that hot, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm feeling it's not that hot. I mean a little, but like, I don't know. Close the hood. I'm like, let me drive. I drive for the next like mile, and
then basically
light comes back on, blinking.
It comes back
I didn't drive it any better than he did, obviously.
So we pull over to a gas station, and my mom goes in. She finds some guy who helps us.
Yeah, I put in I put in some antifreeze.
Yeah, and then we got the car home, and you took it the next morning.
Yeah, like to the shop. I dropped it off.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice guy. Dropped it off, and I was like, "It's overheating. Can you check?" And of course, radiator leak. But that's okay. But then we have a second car. It's not a great car. It was gifted to us, so we cannot complain. But it's a kind of an old car, and we use it like when my daughter's in town in particular, because that's really when we need 2 cars. Otherwise, Michael and I are really good about sharing. But anyway, we get in it, and we're driving. Well, I'm driving in the morning to go to ECP to treatment. And there was so much traffic. And the AC was broken. And even though it was 65 the night before, it was not 65 when we were on our way to ECP. It was a good, like, 80, and the sun pounding into the car. And we were traffic, so there was no breeze.
Yeah, that was pretty tough. We got to ECP, and I was like...
nauseous.
I was like, I don't even want to do treatment. I'm too... Like, that's how I feel after treatment. It's like that tired feeling, but I had that before treatment. So after treatment, I was even more tired.
He was nauseous. He was not feeling well.
Tired.
His knee was hurting.
I had a lot of pain, and we forgot to bring one of the pain meds.
Well, he hadn't been taking the pain med. He'd only been taking Tylenol for 3 days. So it's my fault. You didn't tell me not to. I should have brought it. And it's my fault.
We forgot it.
But I just brought Tylenol, not the serious, like, addictive pain med. And I should have, but I didn't. I was not that prepared.
No, but...
And so he is in the bed, getting needles poked into his... Not even poked. Like, hammered into his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And knee throbbing and hot and nauseous. And it was not that pretty.
It was not very pretty. It was a tough day, but you know what happened at the end of the day?
We hugged.
We went to sleep, and the next day came.
And it was better.
We
smiled.
Exactly.
The sun came up anyway.
And that's what happens.
Kinda, yeah. And it is interesting because I do think it is practice, and I do want to say that I am practicing so hard with everything we've been through to try to continue, the lessons that we talk about. I really, really try to brush my teeth every day and remind myself. And last night, I was like, Michael's like, I'm too tired to do anything. And I said, you know what? Let's just go to the beach anyway. I'm like, just don't even walk. Just be in the wheelchair. And we did. And it was beautiful. And the sky was beautiful.
It was very nice. I got home feeling a little better. I went to bed early. Went to bed at like 9:30.
He did. He went to bed
pretty early for me.
And like you said, you woke up, and the sun came up this morning, and we're together, and we're alive, and
that's I think that's our message of the day is, bad days happen, and there will be good days again.
It's not linear. So healing is not linear. Life is not linear. One day that's a great day might be followed by a really crap one, and the crap one followed by a good one. That's kind of the balance. But maybe you can find your inner peace, whether it's a good day or a bad day. If you can keep your inner peace, I think that's the goal, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Maybe that's it for our story for the day.
I think it is. We love you guys
So much.
so much, and thank you for listening to this short episode of Michael and Mom Talk Needy Replacement.
Thank you. We love you. This is Ashlee, Mom, giving you all my love.
We love you.
Bye. That was